This class is about mental disabilities, anxiety, depression, and other mental illnesses. And why this is important, because as you can see by the chart, about 25% of the U.S. population has some form of mental illness. And you can see 5% are severe. And a lot of people are at risk of chronic diseases because as a result of their illness, they tend to be less physically active. Some of the medications, such as antidepressants and antipsychotics, weight gain is a side effect. And so that's another area where we can work with that. And mental illnesses are a leading cause of disability in the U.S. and it's definitely understudied and it's definitely underfunded as far as research is concerned. When you're looking at the figure in this slide, just showing the people that have higher incidences of the metabolic syndrome, and that is the high triglycerides, high waist circumference, dyslipidemia, pre-hypertension, and and so this is definitely remedied by physical activity, but it's much higher than in the general population. Let's look at major depressive disorder, and the NIMH is the National Institute of Mental Health. It's one of the agencies that is under the National Institutes of Health. And so, especially at this time of year, if you have friends, persistent sad and empty feelings, weight loss or weight gain, loss of enjoyment in activities that's persisted, inability to concentrate, and of course what definitely makes it depression is thoughts of suicide. It is a leading cause of disability in young adults and middle-aged adults, and the median age of onset is 32. And it's definitely more prevalent in women than men. And there's some data, conflicting data about that, and they say, well, it's more prevalent in women because women will tend to seek help for it. Men experience depression, but they may not seek as much help, or they may just turn to suicide, where women may actually seek help. Here are some recent data on depression in U.S. adults. And so you can see it is, a little less than 10% of the population had depression, moderate or severe. So not just mild depression over the past 2 weeks. So if you look at the age group of 18 to 39, you can see there's a very high percent in females, than males, and then the overall. Bipolar disorder. So people who have bipolar disorder, if you look at the very bottom of the slide, it says the median age of onset is 25 years. So many of these mental illnesses are discovered in people in their young adulthood, in the prime of their lives. And so what they used to call this is manic depressive, but mania can include risk-taking behaviors, things that are detrimental to their health, binging behaviors, alcohol, drugs, shopping, exercise, promiscuity, lots of sexual activity. So there's those can be binging behaviors, and followed by lows, deep lows, depressive lows. So you can see it is maybe a little bit less than 3% of the population. Schizophrenia, once again, early onset. The onset appears 20s and 30s, so young adulthood. So why this happens during this time, of young adulthood, some researchers feel it has a lot to do with stress, or just changes the body is going through to transition from adolescence into young adulthood. So people who have schizophrenia, they're going to have the auditory or visual hallucinations. They think they're seeing things, they think they're hearing things, they're very paranoid, someone is out to get them. So it is pretty serious, and oftentimes these people are going to need constant medical care and treatment and stay with their medications.